my sister said. You're not coming to Hawaii for Christmas. While Mom avoided looking at me and Dad pretended to be engrossed in his phone. Mitchell almost smiled, like he'd waited years to see me break, but I didn't. I sat there, feeling something coil tightly inside me, so I kicked her and her husband out, and the sting of betrayal, sharp and unexpected, always hits differently when delivered by family. It was Tiffany, my older sister, who served it across my kitchen table, her voice dripping with an almost practiced sweetness. My mother, usually the family's emotional anchor, studied her coffee cup as if its porcelain held the secrets of the universe. My father, typically boisterous, found sudden, profound fascination in his phone screen. Then there was Mitchell, Tiffany's husband of 3 years, a smug satisfaction barely contained on his face, as if he'd rehearsed this moment, savored it, for months. We've already booked everything, Tiffany announced, her words a silk-loved punch. The rental house sleeps 8, and with Mitchell's parents joining us, there's just no room. You understand, right? Oh, I understood perfectly. The rental house in question? It was mine. 4 years ago, I'd purchased that property in Maui as an investment, a passion project really. I poured 2 years, and considerable capital, into renovating it, transforming it into something truly special, a sanctuary. Since then, it had been a consistent, successful rental. My family knew all this. They'd seen the endless photos, listened to my enthusiastic stories, even offered opinions on furniture choices. Which rental house? I asked, my voice a quiet counterpoint to their collective disengagement. Tiffany waved a dismissive hand. Oh, just some place Mitchell found online. 3 bedrooms, ocean view, the whole package. His parents are so excited, they've never been to Hawaii. Mitchell leaned back in his chair, radiating an almost visible aura of self-congratulation. Found it on one of those vacation sites. Great deal for Christmas week. A cold dread settled in my chest, heavy and immediate. What's the address? Tiffany's eyes narrowed, a flicker of irritation crossing her feigned pleasantness. Why does that matter? Look, I know you're disappointed, but we can all do something together for New Year's. Maybe you could come visit us in Portland for a weekend. My mother finally spoke, her voice a small, wavering whisper. It'll be nice, sweetheart. You could use the quiet time anyway. Focus on work. My father nodded without looking up. Your mother's right. Sometimes family trips can be stressful. This, you see, is the burden of being the youngest. People become disturbingly comfortable dismissing you. I graduated top of my class at Stanford. I built a successful consulting firm before I turned 30. I invested wisely enough to own properties in 3 states. Yet none of it seemed to penetrate the long-held narrative my parents, or my sister clung to. To them, I remained the baby, the one who needed guidance, whose feelings were perpetually secondary to whatever convenient fiction suited them. The address, Tiffany, I pressed, my tone unwavering. She huffed, pulling out her phone. Fine. 247 Kapalua Bay Drive. Happy now? Kapalua Bay Drive. My property. My house. The one where I'd spent $380,000 on renovations, where I'd personally installed the outdoor shower to ensure it was absolutely perfect, where I'd meticulously selected every light fixture, every piece of art, every thread count of bedding. I pulled out my own phone, navigating to the property management app. There it was, stark against the screen. Kapalua Bay Retreat, booked for December 23rd to 30th, party of 8, under Mitchell Hayes. That's a beautiful house, I said carefully, my voice almost unnervingly calm. I've seen the photos online. Tiffany brightened, oblivious. Right. Mitchell spent weeks finding it. The owners are asking $4,500 for the week, but we negotiated them down to $4,200. Split 8 ways, it's totally affordable. So smart. I took a slow sip of my coffee, watching Mitchell preen. How exactly do you negotiate that? Told them we were bringing kids. Mitchell practically crowed. Family discount. Said we take excellent care of the place. Leave a glowing review. The owner seemed happy to work with us. Rage, cold and pure, began to crystallize within me. I'd listed that house at $6,500 for Christmas week. My property manager, Karen, must have thought she was dealing with a legitimate booking. The $4,200 rate was her discretionary threshold. She could approve up to a 35% discount for multi-week bookings or repeat customers without needing my direct approval. When did you book it? I asked, maintaining a frighteningly level tone. 2 weeks ago, Tiffany replied. We wanted to tell you in person rather than over the phone. Seemed kinder. As if excluding me from a family Christmas was an act of compassion, requiring gentle delivery. Mitchell checked his watch, an expensive piece I knew Tiffany had bought him with money borrowed from our parents. We should head out. Long drive back to Portland. And I've got an early meeting tomorrow. Before you go, I said, stopping them at the door, I'm curious about something. Mitchell, you mentioned you found the house online. Which site? He shrugged, already halfway out. Couple different ones. Vacation Rentals Hawaii. Some others. Why? Just wondering. I've been thinking about booking a place there myself. Maybe for spring break. Tiffany rolled her eyes. Well, don't book this one. We want it to be our special spot. Their special spot. Built with my money, meticulously maintained with my oversight, decorated according to my taste. They left 20 minutes later. Mom offered a fleeting, almost apologetic hug, whispering that I'd understand someday when I had my own family. Dad squeezed my shoulder and suggested I take myself out to a nice dinner with the money I'd saved by not going to Hawaii. Their Uber pulled away, and I watched from the window until the taillights vanished around the corner. Then I called Karen. Hey, boss. Her voice was characteristically cheerful. What's up? The Kapalua Bay booking for Christmas week. Pull it up for me. Keyboard clicks filtered through the phone. Okay, got it. Mitchell Hayes, party of 8, December 23rd to 30th. They paid the deposit already. Everything okay? Cancel it. Silence stretched between us. Cancel? But they've already paid. Refund the deposit. Full amount. Then block the property from all rental sites for Christmas week. Are you sure? That's $4,200 we'd be turning away, and it's too late to rebook that week now. We'll lose the income entirely. I'm using it myself. More silence. Karen had managed my properties for 3 years and had never known me to stay at any of them during peak season. Oh, okay then. I'll process the cancellation right now. Should I send the standard cancellation notice? No, I said, a grim satisfaction forming in my gut. I'll handle the communication personally. Got it. Anything else? That booking. How did they find the property? Let me check. Looks like they came through Vacation Rentals Hawaii. Sent an inquiry. I responded with a rate quote and availability. They booked immediately. Pretty standard transaction. They seemed really nice in the emails. I'm sure they did. Go ahead and process that cancellation. Thanks, Karen. After we hung up, I sat in my quiet kitchen and opened my laptop. The property management platform showed Mitchell's booking confirmation email. He'd used his work address, some mid-level position at a logistics company. The inquiry message was cloyingly effusive. Our family is so excited to experience your beautiful home. We promise to treat it with the utmost care and respect. Looking forward to creating wonderful memories there. Creating memories in my house, while pointedly excluding me from the family gathering. The audacity was almost impressive. I drafted an email. Dear Mr. Hayes, we regret to inform you that your booking at 247 Kapalua Bay Drive for December 23rd to 30th must be cancelled due to owner occupancy. Your deposit has been refunded in full. We apologize for any inconvenience. Best regards, Kapalua Bay Property Management. Professional. Clean. Final. My phone rang before I could send it. Tiffany. Hey, so I forgot to mention Mitchell's mom has some dietary restrictions. Do you think you could send her some restaurant recommendations near wherever you end up for Christmas? She's really particular about, I need to go, Tiffany. Talk later. I hung up and sent the email. 3 days passed. Tiffany called twice, but I was immersed in work deadlines, their manufactured urgency a welcome distraction. Mom texted a recipe for the cranberry sauce I usually brought to Christmas dinner, apparently still assuming I'd make it for them despite not being invited to eat it. Dad sent a forwarded Facebook meme about family being forever. On the 4th day, my phone exploded. Tiffany called 6 times in an hour. Mom called. Dad called. Mitchell called from a number I didn't have saved. The voicemails ranged from confused to angry to desperate. What do you mean the house is cancelled? We had a booking. The owner is using it? What kind of policy is that? Do you know how hard it is to find a place in Maui for Christmas week? Everything's booked. This is incredibly unprofessional. We're going to leave a terrible review. Call me back right now. I let them simmer. Poured myself a glass of wine. Looked through photos from my last trip to Maui, to my house, to the infinity pool that overlooked the ocean, to the outdoor kitchen where I'd cooked fresh mahi-mahi while watching the sunset. When I finally called back, I chose Mitchell's number. Hello? His voice was tight, frayed. Hi, Mitchell. Got some missed calls from you. Your damn property manager canceled our booking. We're supposed to be there in 2 weeks, and now she's saying the owner needs the house. This is completely unacceptable. We had a contract. The contract included a clause about owner occupancy. Pretty standard in vacation rentals. So, what are we supposed to do? Everything else on the island is either booked or twice the price. My parents already bought their plane tickets. Non-refundable. That sounds stressful. Stressful? Stressful? This is more than stressful. This ruins our entire Christmas. Tiffany's been crying all afternoon. Your mother is beside herself. We need you to help us fix this. Fix what exactly? Find us another house. You must know people in Hawaii. Have connections or something. There has to be somewhere we can stay. I swirled my wine, the complex notes dancing on my tongue. There probably are some places still available. Higher price point, of course. Maybe something not directly on the ocean. I could make some calls. His relief was palpable, even through the phone line. Would you? That would be amazing. I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but family helps family, right? Absolutely, I affirmed, a dark smile playing on my lips. Family helps family. Let me ask you something, Mitchell. Whose idea was it to book a place in Maui without including me? The pause stretched, an almost comedic beat. I don't. What do you mean? For the family Christmas trip to Hawaii. Whose idea was it to leave me out? That was. Look, it wasn't personal. The house only slept 8. And with my parents, the numbers just didn't work. Tiffany felt terrible about it. Tiffany felt terrible. I repeated slowly, letting each word hang in the air. So terrible that she came to my house to tell me I wasn't invited. That's an interesting way to show feeling terrible. You're blowing this out of proportion. What's the address of the house you booked, Mitchell? The one that got cancelled. Why does that matter now? He sighed heavily. Humor me. 247 Kapalua Bay Drive. Why? That's my house. The silence that followed was exquisite, a symphony of his dawning horror. I could practically hear his brain scrambling, trying to recalculate everything he thought he knew about the situation. You are what? My house. I bought it 4 years ago, renovated it myself. That infinity pool in the photos? I designed it. The outdoor shower? I installed it. The custom kitchen? I picked out every appliance. That's my property, Mitchell. The one you negotiated my manager down to $4,200 when it's listed at $6,500 for Christmas week. The one where you planned to have a family gathering without inviting me? I didn't. We didn't know. No, you didn't. Because nobody bothered to ask me about my Hawaii property before booking a Hawaii vacation. The same property I've mentioned at probably a dozen family dinners. The one I sent renovation photos of in the family group chat. The one Mom said looked nice, dear, without actually looking at her phone. Mitchell's breathing was audible now, shallow and rapid. Tiffany didn't know. She wouldn't have booked your house to exclude you from a family Christmas. Yeah, she would have. She did. And you smiled about it, Mitchell. I saw you. Like you'd won something. Look, this is clearly a misunderstanding. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to Maui for Christmas. I'm staying in my house alone. I'm going to swim in my pool, cook in my kitchen, and watch the sunset from my lanai. What you're going to do is figure out your own accommodations, pay for them yourselves, and never again assume you can use my resources while excluding me from my own family. You can't do this. What about your parents? They don't deserve to have their Christmas ruined. My parents watched their daughter exclude me and said nothing. They suggested I stay home and focus on work. Dad literally pretended to read his phone rather than acknowledge what was happening. So yeah, Mitchell, I absolutely can do this. Tiffany's going to be devastated. Tiffany made her choice. You all did. Actions have consequences. I hung up before he could respond. The phone immediately started ringing again. I powered it down. 2 days later, an email arrived from Mom's account, though the writing style screamed Tiffany. Dear daughter, your father and I are deeply disappointed in your behavior. Canceling a family vacation out of spite is cruel and childish. We raised you better than this. Tiffany has been in tears. Mitchell's parents are confused and hurt, and we're all scrambling to salvage Christmas. We understand you're upset about not being included in the original plans, but surely you can see that was a practical matter, not a personal slight. The house only slept 8 people. What were we supposed to do? Your sister has always looked up to you, even if she doesn't always show it well. She's going through a difficult time right now, which you would know if you returned anyone's calls, and she needed this vacation. Needed time with family, a break from her stress. We're asking you to reconsider. Let the booking stand. You can come too. We'll figure out sleeping arrangements somehow. Or if you really feel excluded, we can plan a separate trip for just the 2 of you later. Please don't ruin Christmas for everyone over hurt feelings. Love, Mom and Dad. I read it 3 times. The audacity of hurt feelings stood out, as if excluding a family member from Christmas was equivalent to forgetting to return a phone call. I wrote back. Mom and Dad, the house sleeps 10 comfortably. 12 if people don't mind sharing rooms. There are 4 bedrooms, including a master suite with a king bed and a dedicated guest wing with 2 queens. The living room has a pull-out sofa that sleeps 2. The loft has another queen. Sleeping arrangements were never the issue. I noticed you mentioned Tiffany is going through a difficult time. Interesting that nobody thought to mention this to me before now, or considered that perhaps I might be going through something too, but then nobody asked. Nobody calls unless they need something. The booking is cancelled. I'm using my house. Find other arrangements. P.S. This email was clearly written by Tiffany. If you'd like to have an actual conversation, try calling me yourself instead of having your 35-year-old daughter draft your messages. Dad called that evening. Your mother is very upset. He started without preamble. Hello to you too, Dad. This isn't funny. You're tearing the family apart over a vacation rental. Over my house. My property. My investment. Being used to exclude me from a family Christmas. Nobody excluded you, Dad. Tiffany literally sat in my kitchen and told me I wasn't invited. You were there. You heard her. You looked at your phone instead of saying anything. His silence felt heavier than Mitchell's. I thought it was between you girls. Sisters work things out. This isn't about sisters. This is about all of you deciding I'm not worth including, then being shocked when I don't hand over my property to make your exclusion more comfortable. That's not fair. You know what's not fair? Finding out your family booked a Christmas vacation without you. Finding out they used your property to do it. finding out nobody cared enough to think twice about any of it. That's what's not fair. Dad, we can still fix this. No, we can't. The damage is done. You all showed me exactly where I stand in this family. Message received. Your mother and I didn't raise you to be vindictive. The words stung more than I expected. You raised me to respect myself and not accept mistreatment. You raised me to understand that actions have consequences. I'm applying those lessons. If that feels like vindictiveness, maybe examine what you all did first. He hung up without saying goodbye. The next week was quiet. Nobody called. Nobody texted. The family group chat continued without me. I could see the notification count climbing but refused to open it. They'd figure things out, or they wouldn't. Either way, I'd be in Maui. I flew out on December 22nd. The house was exactly as I'd left it during my last visit in September. Karen had arranged for a cleaning service, and everything sparkled. Fresh flowers sat on the kitchen counter with a note. Enjoy your stay. K. I spent Christmas Eve on the lanai, sipping champagne and watching the sunset paint the ocean in shades of orange and pink. No family drama. No forced small talk. No watching Mitchell smirk or Tiffany fake smile or Mom avoid eye contact. Perfection. Christmas morning, I swam in the pool before breakfast, made myself macadamia nut pancakes in the kitchen I designed, and read a book in the hammock strung between two palms at the edge of the property. Bliss. My phone rang around noon Hawaii time, 3 p.m. in Portland. Tiffany. I debated letting it go to voicemail, then answered. Merry Christmas. I said. Are you really there? Her voice was small, broken. At the house? I am. The water's beautiful today. Saw some sea turtles from the lanai this morning. We're at a Holiday Inn Express 40 minutes from the beach. Mitchell's mom won't stop complaining. Dad barely speaks. Mom keeps crying in the bathroom. Mitchell's parents are talking about leaving early. I'm sorry to hear that. No, you're not. Her voice cracked. You wanted this. Wanted us to suffer. I wanted to be included in my family's Christmas. You wanted me to fund your vacation while staying home. We both got what we wanted, just not in the way you expected. It was just logistics. The numbers didn't work. The house sleeps 12, Tiffany. I've had 14 people here before for a corporate retreat. Numbers weren't the problem. She was crying now, truly crying. Mitchell said we should have just paid full price for a different house. That we were stupid to try and save money. He's furious with me. He should be furious with himself. He's the one who booked it. I told him about Hawaii. I said I wanted to go somewhere special for Christmas. He found the house, surprised me with it. I didn't know it was yours. The words came out harsher than I'd intended, but I didn't take it back. You knew. I continued, a cold clarity in my voice. Maybe not at first, but at some point you saw the address or the photos or something that should have clicked. You've seen pictures of this place. We've talked about it. You knew, and you didn't care because it served your purpose. You got your special vacation and didn't have to deal with your little sister tagging along. That's not why. Why wasn't I invited, Tiffany? Real reason? The silence stretched so long I thought she'd hung up. Then, a raw, naked honesty I hadn't heard from her in years. Because everything is always about you. Your success, your properties, your perfect life. We can't have one family event without hearing about your latest achievement, or investment, or whatever. I wanted one Christmas where I didn't have to hear about how well you're doing while my marriage is falling apart, and I can barely afford my mortgage. The truth was like cold water. Shocking. Clarifying. So, you excluded me because I'm successful? I excluded you because I'm tired of feeling like a failure in comparison. Mitchell's parents were coming and his dad always asks about you, always brings up your business and your properties. I couldn't handle a week of that, of being the disappointing older sister who didn't amount to much, Tiffany. And yeah, I knew. Figured it out about 3 days after Mitchell booked it. Saw the listing photos and recognized your furniture, but by then we told everyone, and I just I let it happen. Told myself you wouldn't care, that you had plenty of money and properties. One cancelled booking wouldn't hurt you. But excluding me from Christmas would. I didn't think about it like that. I swear I didn't. I just wanted one thing that felt special and mine, not overshadowed by you. I walked to the edge of the infinity pool, where the water seemed to merge seamlessly with the ocean beyond. You know what's really sad? If you'd just been honest with me, if you'd said you were struggling and needed a break, I would have let you use this house. Hell, I probably would have paid for it as a gift. But you lied. You excluded me. You made me feel like I don't matter to my own family. I'm sorry. She was definitely crying now. I'm so sorry. I messed up. Mitchell messed up. We all did. Yeah, you did. Is there any way? Could we possibly? No. I didn't even let her finish. I know what you're going to ask. The answer is no. Figure out your own accommodations. Have your disappointing Christmas at the Holiday Inn Express. Maybe next year you'll think twice before treating family like garbage. Please, I'm begging. Mitchell's parents think we're complete disasters. Dad won't look at me. Mom keeps saying she's disappointed in both of us, but mostly me. I can't take much more of this. You should have thought about that before. I hung up, turned off my phone, dove into the pool, and swam until my arms ached. The rest of Christmas passed quietly. I video called some friends, ordered expensive sushi for dinner, watched the stars from the hot tub. Blissful solitude. The day after Christmas, I turned my phone back on to find 47 messages. Most were from Tiffany, but there were several from Mom and Dad, too. I scrolled through them chronologically. Asterisk Tiffany, I told everyone the truth about knowing it was your house. They're all furious with me. Asterisk Tiffany, Mitchell's parents left early. Flew out this morning. They're not speaking to either of us. Asterisk Tiffany, Mitchell is talking about separation. Says I've embarrassed him beyond repair. Asterisk Mom, we need to talk. Your father and I had no idea Tiffany knew about the house. We would never have supported this if we'd known. Asterisk Dad, I owe you an apology. A real one. Please call when you can. Asterisk Tiffany, I deserve this. Everything that's happening. I know I do, but I really am sorry. Not because of consequences, but because I hurt you. My little sister who never did anything to me except be successful and kind. Asterisk Tiffany, Mitchell moved out. Staying with a friend. Served me with separation papers this morning. Merry Christmas to me. Asterisk I stared at my phone, emotions warring inside me. Satisfaction mixed with an unexpected guilt. I'd wanted consequences, wanted them to understand how their actions affected me. But Tiffany's marriage dissolving felt like collateral damage I hadn't anticipated. I called her back. Hello? Her voice was wrecked. I got your messages. Oh. Yeah. Are you okay? She laughed bitterly. No, not even a little bit. But I deserve this. So your marriage ending isn't a proportional consequence for excluding me from Christmas. Maybe not. But lying to my husband about the house, letting him book your property, excluding you, all of it. He says he can't trust me anymore. Says if I could lie about something like this, what else have I lied about? Have you lied about other things? A long pause. Some money stuff. I told him my debt was smaller than it is. Told him I got a raise I didn't get. Small things that snowballed. He found out about all of it after Christmas. After everything blew up and he started digging into our finances, trying to figure out how to afford a different rental property. Tiffany, I'm a mess. I've been a mess. And instead of dealing with it, I took it out on you. Tried to make myself feel better by cutting you down, even if it was just by exclusion. I'm so sorry. I sat down on the lanai steps, the phone pressed to my ear. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. I just wanted you to know I told everyone the truth. That Mom and Dad understand now. I'm not asking for forgiveness because I don't deserve it. I just wanted you to know. What are you going to do? Go home. File a response to the separation papers. Figure my life out. Try to become someone I don't hate when I look in the mirror. For what it's worth, I said, looking out at the endless ocean, I never wanted your marriage to end. I know. You're too good for that. You were always too good for how we treated you. We talked for another 20 minutes. Not about Christmas or the house or Mitchell. Just about her fears, her mistakes, her plans. I listened more than I spoke. After we hung up, I sat watching the ocean for a long time. Victory felt hollow. I'd gotten my revenge, made my point, forced my family to acknowledge how they treated me. But Tiffany's life was imploding, and I couldn't feel good about that. Mom called that evening. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Mom. Your father and I are flying to Portland tomorrow. Tiffany needs us. But I wanted to call you first. To say I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry. For what, specifically? For not standing up for you. For looking away when you were being hurt. For believing Tiffany's version of events without questioning it. For failing you as a mother. Her voice broke on the last words. Mom didn't cry easily, which made the sound even more affecting. I thought I was being neutral. She continued, staying out of sister drama. But there's no such thing as neutral when someone's being mistreated. Silence is choosing the side of the person causing harm. I chose Tiffany's comfort over your dignity. And I'm so sorry. Thank you for saying that. How are you? Is the house as beautiful as the photos? More beautiful. I'm sitting on the lanai right now watching the sunset. I'm glad you're there. Glad you didn't back down. You taught us all something important about respecting people, about consequences. Painful lesson, but necessary. We talked until the sun dipped below the horizon. She told me about Dad's guilt, about their flights to Portland, about their plan to help Tiffany get into therapy. I told her about my swim with the sea turtles, about the book I was reading, about my plans to stay through New Year's. Will you come visit us after? Mom asked. Not for them. For us. Your father and I want to see you. Spend real time with you. No Tiffany, no drama, just us. Maybe. Let me think about it. That's fair. We love you, sweetheart. I love you too, Mom. Dad texted later that night. Proud of you for standing your ground. Should have stood with you from the start. Working to be better. Love you, kid. I spent the next 5 days in paradise, snorkeling, reading, cooking elaborate meals for one, thinking about family and forgiveness and where lines should be drawn. Tiffany texted daily, never asking for anything, just updating me. Therapy scheduled, lawyer consulted, apartment hunting. Mitchell agreed to counseling but wasn't hopeful. Her world was reorganizing itself into something new. New Year's Eve, I stood on the beach in front of my house, toes in the sand, champagne glass in hand. The fireworks display over the resort down the coast lit up the sky. Tourists cheered, couples kissed. I raised my glass to the ocean, to myself, to the messy, complicated reality of family. My phone buzzed. A text from Tiffany. Happy New Year, little sister. Thank you for teaching me that actions matter. Working on being someone worthy of your forgiveness. No timeline, no pressure. Just wanted you to know I'm trying. I typed back. Happy New Year. Keep trying. Not forgiveness. Not yet. Maybe not ever, but acknowledgement that the possibility existed somewhere in the future. I flew home on January 2nd. The house had felt like victory at first, then refuge, then just home. My home, my space, my reminder that I deserved better than I'd been accepting. 3 weeks later, I met Mom and Dad for dinner at a restaurant halfway between their house and mine. Neutral territory. They asked about my business, my properties, my life. They really asked, really listened. Dad put his phone face down on the table and didn't touch it all night. We're selling the Portland condo, Mom said over dessert. The one we bought as an investment and let Tiffany live in for temporarily reduced rent 5 years ago. She can't afford market rate, and we can't keep subsidizing her life. It's not helping anyone. She needs to figure things out herself, and we need to stop enabling her victim mentality. Dad nodded. Tough love. Should have applied it years ago. Instead, we made excuses for her while you never asked for anything. That wasn't fair to either of you. What will Tiffany do? Find a roommate. Move somewhere cheaper. Get serious about her finances and her life. We'll help with therapy costs, but the rest is on her. She says she understands. Says it's what she needs. I poked at my tiramisu. Is she going to be okay, eventually? Maybe not right away. But she's tougher than we gave her credit for. And she's finally being honest with herself about her problems instead of blaming everyone else. Mom reached across the table and squeezed my hand. Thank you for not letting us off easy, for making us see what we'd become. I know it hurt you. I know you paid a price for teaching us that lesson, but you did the right thing. Sometimes the right thing feels terrible. Usually does, Dad said. That's how you know it matters. We finished dinner and walked to our cars together. Mom hugged me tight, whispering that she loved me. Dad did the same. They drove away into the night, and I sat in my car for a long time before starting the engine. My phone buzzed. Tiffany. Hey. Mom said dinner went well. I'm glad. Me, too. I got a job. Full-time marketing position. Not glamorous, but decent pay. Start Monday. That's great, Tiff. Seriously. Mitchell and I signed the separation agreement. 6-month waiting period, then divorce. It's really over. How do you feel? Relieved, mostly. Sad sometimes, but relieved. He was right. We weren't working. Haven't been for a while. I just refuse to see it. What's next for you? Therapy twice a week. Finding a cheaper apartment. Paying off debt. Building a life I don't have to lie about. Boring stuff. Important stuff. Good. Pause. I was wrong about everything being about you. It was never about you at all. It was about me being afraid I'd never measure up. Easier to exclude you than face my own failures. I know. Think we'll ever be okay again. Like sisters are supposed to be. I watched the streetlights cast shadows across my windshield. I don't know. Maybe someday, but it'll take time. I've got time. As much as you need. We hung up. I drove home through quiet streets, thinking about revenge and consequences and the space between justice and cruelty. I'd wanted them to hurt the way they'd hurt me. They did. Mission accomplished. But watching someone you love dismantle their life, even if they'd earned it, didn't feel triumphant. It felt complicated. Messy. Human. The Hawaii house still sits in my property portfolio. I visit 3 or 4 times a year. Karen manages the bookings. It generates solid income and appreciates nicely. A good investment by any measure. Last month, Tiffany asked if she could see photos of it. Not to book it, just to see what it looked like inside since she'd only ever seen listing photos. I sent her a virtual tour video I'd made for the rental site. She texted back, it's beautiful. You built something really special. I'm sorry I tried to take it without appreciating what it meant to you. I sent back a heart emoji. Just one small acknowledgement of small progress. Mom and Dad visited last weekend. We had brunch at my place, and Dad actually helped with dishes without being asked. Mom looked through my renovating plans for another property I just acquired. They asked good questions, offered thoughtful suggestions, treated me like the capable adult I'd always been. Progress. Slow, hard one, fragile progress. Mitchell remarried last month, according to Mom. Some woman he met through work. Fast timeline, but apparently they're happy. Tiffany sent him a congratulations card with no return address. Healthy boundary, her therapist said. As for me, I'm planning another Hawaii trip next month. Solo again. Not because I'm punishing anyone or making a point, just because I like it there. Because it's mine. Because sometimes the best company is your own. The family group chat is active again. I participate occasionally. Surface level stuff, mostly photos of meals, funny observations, the occasional meme. We're rebuilding slowly, carefully, without the assumption that blood automatically earns trust. Maybe we'll get back to something resembling normal family dynamics. Maybe we won't. Either way, I learned something valuable that Christmas. Standing up for yourself costs something, but accepting mistreatment costs more. My parents learned to speak up instead of staying silent. Tiffany learned that jealousy and dishonesty destroy relationships. Mitchell learned to vet his wife's claims before making major plans. And I learned that revenge, real revenge, isn't about making people suffer. It's about refusing to participate in your own diminishment. It's about looking someone in the eye when they try to dismiss you and saying no. It's about owning your worth, even when the people who should celebrate it can't or won't. The Hawaii house wasn't just about Christmas, or a canceled booking. It was about drawing a line, about saying, "This is mine. I matter. And you don't get to benefit from me while treating me as expendable." They got the message loud and clear. And whether we ever fully repair what broke that day in my kitchen, at least we're all operating with eyes open now. No more pretending. No more excusing. No more assuming family means accepting whatever treatment comes your way. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is refuse to be loved poorly. Sometimes family needs to be reminded that you're not a doormat wearing a daughter costume. Sometimes the only way forward is to stop letting people walk all over you just because you share DNA. I kicked them out of my house, out of their comfortable narrative, out of their assumption that I'd always be there to use without consequence. Best decision I ever made. And next Christmas, I'll be in Hawaii again. Maybe alone, maybe not. But definitely on my own terms, in my own house, living my own life. They can join me if they've earned it. If not, I'll watch the sunset solo and toast to standing my ground.